8 or 9 pound mark beast. He's so wide. Proof in the pudding that that works. So we're here today at Weston Pools Fishery. I'm just going to run you through how I plan and prepare my edge for the last 2 hours. I'll just run you through my rig quickly. So we've got a power kit with red hydro, 022 mainline, a 4x16 carp dink, straight down to a bulk of 7 number 8s, 4-inch hook length of 019 and a 12 Kaizen. It's no nonsense gear, they're hard fighting fish in here, and when you hook them, you need to get them out because they're your money fish towards the end of the day, or end of the match. I'm just going to show you quickly on plumbing up, because we've got a bit of a funny edge here today, and it's probably typical of most commercial fisheries. Nothing's like a flat bottom anymore. A lot of the bottoms have like fallen in, and it's just trying to find somewhere that's nice to fish on, and more importantly, preparing your bait right for the bottom. So I'm just going to show you quickly the contours of the bottom. So if you go right tight against the edge here now, you can see straight away it's already falling away. And as I'm coming away from the bank, sort of on the bottom there, we're on the bottom a little bit there, so we've got like, I don't know, probably 2 inches where we can sit on nice there. And then as we move just a little bit more in towards the lake, it's dropped down probably over a foot deep there now. It's just dropping further and further away. So what we've got now, as you can see, we've probably got 2 inches of like where we can sit on it, like 2.5 foot deep. And I think this is really important now, especially when it comes to bait preparation. Typical here at Weston Pools Fishery, it is renowned for its deep edges, and what we have learned here over the years, the balling in ground bait, and I don't mean firing balls of ground bait into the middle of the lake, but forming hard balls of ground bait in the edge, carrying the dead maggots to the bottom. We're going to have to do it slightly different here today. What I've done, I still use the same ground bait, but what we're going to do is really over wet the mix, put loads of water into it, but feed it loose. And obviously the water acts as weight to get it down, and just to, because if you can imagine now, we've got like the bank, it comes out a little bit and then it just drops away. So what we want is to cup that loose ground bait onto that slope and that slight little ledge, just for it to sit on there, and then obviously a carp can just come in there, nail our hook bait, and jobs are going. If we was to form a ball, as you can imagine, it's going to roll straight down that slope and into the deeper water, and it'll probably end up a metre or 2 into the lake. So I'm just going to show you how I go about kicking my swim off. I've just got my 200ml pot, so I'm just going to give it 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've probably got probably not far off 2 pints of ground bait there. What I'm going to do then is give it like half a handful dead maggots. Just give that a good mix, like run it through the mix. So what we've got now is obviously the over wetted ground bait with just like an odd dead maggot running through it, whites and reds. I know reds work particularly well here, and across most fisheries. I've just got some whites and reds left from my last outing, so just going to give that a try. I can't see it not failing, to be honest, but yeah, that's how I go about starting prepping my edge. So I'm just going to show you how it enters the lake now. So just really like compact that into the pot. Beauty today is only a top kit away from us, so what I'm going to do now as well is, I think, which is also important, is the way that the pot is entering the lake. If I was to turn it out in towards the lake, there's probably a good chance that that ground bait is not going to sit where I want it to. So what I want to do is, obviously where I'm cupping it in now, is I'm hoping that that's going to sit against that slope and then obviously sit on that little ledge we've got. So we've got a little marker on the bank there, which I'm just lining up to. Like we're fishing now for big carp now, like 6 to 10 pound match winning fish. This is like no nonsense stuff now, so that's why we're sticking a volume of bait in now, as if like we was like packing up. What we're trying to do now is mimic an angler, like basically throwing their bait in towards the end of a session. So there we are. That's our 5 big pots entered the swim. What I would do now, if it was match conditions, is just give 10 minutes, and then I'd be chucking this beastie rig on then with like 8 maggots on, and fingers crossed we can nail a big one. As I said earlier, this is a latter end of the match method. So roughly about 2 hours from the end, I'd start to put those 5 pots in there. 15 minutes later, I'd probably look at putting another big pot in again, 200 mil. Another pot then 15 minutes later, and then this is when I'd be looking to do the damage then, the last hour and a half, and hopefully just put those match winning fish in the net. So I'm just going to run you through my edge rig. I've just got a power kit with red hydro through it. The important thing is now, these fish are coming in here to eat. And the last thing you want is fishing light lines, light floats, light small hooks that you're not going to get anywhere. It's just going to end up in the middle of the lake and you're just going to get snapped and all nasty stuff basically. So what we've got, like I said, is just red hydro, 022 mainline. I've opted for a 4x16 carp dink, which is an RW's float. It's a nice 2mm bristle. It's a flexi wire dink, just aids stability, especially with big baits. Obviously you're going to have a lot of big fish just coming in the edge, so it's paramount that your rig is sat really still. This is run straight down to a bulk of 7 number 8s, which is sat on top of a 4-inch hook length of 019 and a 12 Kaizen. Like I said, these fish are really hard fighting fish, so as soon as I hook one, I want to be in control of that fish and know that this material is not going to let me down. I have fished here for quite a few years now, and I've learned the hard way a few times, thinking, oh, I might get some more bites fishing a little bit lighter. You just get seen off in the middle of the lake. Best off just having less bites, but it ends up in more fish in your nets basically. Okay, so we've waited 15 minutes now. As I said earlier, I'm going to put another big 200mm pot in. Get that straight into the swim. There's fish there already. So get that straight into the swim now. And then what I'm going to do is get straight into the swim now. I don't generally fish white maggots unless I'm fishing like live whites for F1s. So I'm going to give this a go now. I'm going to try and get like 8 dead white maggots on it. I know reds work. I'm going to have a little go with this now. So we're going to put 8 maggots all through the point end first. So we've got plenty of hook showing. And hopefully snare one of these beasts. Nice big 12 hook. 8 maggots on it. Still plenty of point showing, and that's key. Last thing you want is your maggot folding over the hook point and resulting in a hook pull. Ooh. So what I'm going to do now is obviously we're setting the trap now, so we want to get nice and comfortable. Let's see, something's happening there already. I don't know where I've gone over the back of the fish. There we are. So we have 2 back shot now. Just pin that in against. Ooh. Something's happening. If this is another thing to point out as well. If we did miss bites, and we felt that we wasn't, if I went in and missed a bite, it's about resetting that trap as well. Ooh. It's definitely a few fish up. There we are. So we're actually into a fish now. Red hydro's doing exactly what we wanted. Just got the fish straight under control. No rush. These are the match-winning fish, so you want to take your time, get them out. We know we've got really strong gear on. They really do fight hard in here as well, so it's really like strap-in stuff. Ooh. There we are. It's the first fish. He's an absolute belter. Typical Weston Pools carp. Hard fighting beast. Let's try and hold this one up for you. An absolute stunning common carp. It's got to be 8 or 9 pound that beast. He's so wide. Proof in the pudding that works. Right, so we've just had our first fish of the session. Probably it's got to be a fish getting on for double figures there. But what is important now is obviously trying to get everything ready for the next fish. Personally, I don't feel that this size pot is going to attract any big fish into the swim now. So what I'm going to do again now is get that big pot. Give it like 150 ml. Get that straight into the swim now. And fingers crossed now, there should be another one getting ready for us. Get these maggots on. Hopefully they're having a sample of that ground bait now. And we're getting there and nail another big beast. Make sure everything's all in order. Yeah, we're all good to go. Got a fish straight in there. You can see a tail pattern already. Oh, there we go. Just instantly. So we've got some really strong gear on there now. And they, trust me, they test it to the limit, because this fish is not far touching the pads, and this is what I mean. These are super hard fighting fish. If you don't have this gear on, then I've learned the hard way a few times. You just get bust so many times. He's coming back to us. Just keep that pole low. This red hydro is absolutely perfect for the job for these big fish. Especially when you need, when you just need to catch up that last part of the match. These are match winning fish. Oh, awful bit of netting. Lovely. Another quality edge fish. Nailed right down the hatchet. It's just repeating the process again now. So as soon as we got that one fish into the lake, maggots are still, probably lost one or two there. So it's just a case of adding another one or two. They're not fussy, trust me. What I do now is just same again. Another big 150ml pot. And trust me, in match conditions, it is frantic as well, exactly like this. It's fundamental that you get everything right, as in your elastic, your line, floats, hook length. Make sure it's all bang on, because yeah, you can easily put 60-70 pound of fish together really quickly. There we go. Whoop. Not sure what that is. Looks like maybe an F1. It's not a carp this time. There we are. Nice chunky F1. Even though I've caught an F1, you'd be surprised how much that'll come in and mop up what we've just fed. I'm like, it is literally no messing stuff. Just getting another pot straight in there. These fish are coming in here now to eat, and trust me, that feed will have gone. And what I want to attract is another one of them big beasts. And like a large cad pot it just doesn't do it for me. I do have a few other size pots. There's like a paste pot or an XL pot, and to be fair, an XL pot that's really effective. It doesn't look the prettiest, but trust me, it does have its place. I think there's another one in the swim now, because we just had, yeah, bit of movement again. Oh. Last thing we want to do is foul up one of them units. Oh, virtually pulled the elastic up. You can just see how well our red eye reel works. You're in control of the fish all the time. If you use something like black, you're asking for trouble. It'd probably be in the pads, if I'm honest with you. It's important that you use really strong equipment, gear. Ooh. Know what this is, isn't it? Barbel. Now this is a special fish. Something that Weston Pools is renowned for over the years. Look at that beauty. So same again now after another quality fish. We had a barbel that time. Another nice big pot in. There's loads of fish here now. I can see the tail patterns and I just want them to get their heads down and feed. Exactly like match conditions. Just make sure all our rig's good. Or you're just waiting for just a big wallop under, like that. Yeah. Not the biggest of ones, but it's a carp, nonetheless. And you can see now how quickly and devastating this method can be. Not only at Weston Pools, but most of your commercial carp fisheries. These fish, towards the end of the match, really do come in to eat. So what we're going to do is just bait up quickly. It's surprising how quickly these big fish will come in and hoover up that big pot of ground bait. Probably pretty much fine. There's hardly anything left in the swim. Yeah, I've got plenty of point showing. Just leave that there quickly. Another big pot. Just line up your marker. Fish already on, I see tail patterns already. Oh yes. Absolutely amazing fishing here at Weston Pools. This particular method can be used on every single lake across the complex. Just might need to be prepared a little bit differently, as I said earlier in the video. Oh, it's a huge F1. The size of that thing. Come on. Oh, absolute unit. This is really characteristic of Weston Pools. These beauties. Big bars of gold. The size of that thing. Absolutely stunning fish. So again, it's just repeating the process. Yeah, our maggots all good. So many fish in that swim now. There's tail patterns everywhere. Hopefully I've one nice fish now to end on. These bites really are electric when you get one. So it's important to have a good thick bristle as well, so you can really read when you've got a proper bite like that. That feels like an absolute pig. Fingers crossed we can finish off on this now, because we're going to get wet. I just hope this gives you a little bit of a intro into what to expect at Weston Pools. Absolutely fabulous fishing across every single lake across the complex. Yeah. Another absolute warrior. But yeah, I hope those tips have been useful, and you can put them into your fishing when you come here next, because it really is an amazing place if you haven't been here before. Just hold this one up for you. So there you have it, proof in the pudding. A lovely Weston Pools mirror carp. Thank you.